So glad you could join me on Rachel Resets today. Today I have a clean with me instant pot meal that you can make really fast and a low carb meal prep. So come along, and I hope this music gives you a little bit of motivation and inspiration. I was so excited for Christmas. I got a pan to replace this one that is kind of rusted out. We host a lot of people, so having a really big casserole dish like this is perfect. After all those dishes, my sink definitely needed a little help, especially this corner over here. It always seems to get dirty. So I went ahead and used this crud cutter, sprayed everything down, and just gave it a good scrub down. If you've been wondering what this little silver bar of soap is, you actually use it like a bar of soap where you just rub your hands on it and it removes the smell if you've been cutting up garlic or onions or anything else that would be kind of smelly. Ta-da! Nice clean sink and ready to go for the week. Now I'm just going to make some tea for my husband. I'm going to make an Arnold Palmer, so if you see the water looks a little yellow, it's because I already put the lemonade in it. And now I'm just going to add in this tea to it. He enjoys having something down here in the fridge for when he gets home. I know he gets really dehydrated while he's at work just because he doesn't have time to go and drink things. So I'm glad to provide him with something so that he can stay hydrated and stay well. Now to make a quick meal in the Instant Pot, I'm just using up some ingredients I had on hand. Some of this ham, these potatoes that needed using up, and a few other ingredients. I kind of made this up as I went. I'll put the recipe down below, but feel free to tweak it to your liking, because when I finished making this, it was a little more liquidy than probably I would have wanted if I had made it a second time, but I was still learning my Instant Pot at this point, and I still am, honestly. So if you have a really good Instant Pot recipe, I would be very interested in trying it. I'm always on the lookout for new Instant Pot recipes. Ever since I got this for Christmas, I have been so into it and so into making things in it. So please drop a comment, just tell me what you love making in your Instant Pot, or leave your link to your favorite recipe you have for your Instant Pot. Now we always like to get the cheese that we get for shredded cheese in a giant bag, like 5 or 10 pound bag. And I always like to pre-portion out 2 cups in a Ziploc bag, and I freeze these. And you can freeze shredded cheese, and when you're ready to use it, you can just thaw it in the fridge or thaw it on your counter, and it's just like it would be fresh, and it lasts so much longer. And it's just very convenient to have it already pre-measured out, so that way if I ever have recipes that need 2 cups of cheese, which it seems most of them need 2 cups of cheese, I just know one of these bags is going to be 2 cups, and I can just pull one out and thaw it and know that I have exactly the right amount. So today I'm going to do a little bit of a low-carb meal prep for you. It's going to use some cabbage. We got cabbage here, and some, what is this, yellow squash, and an onion. We're going to chop all this up, saute it all together, and I'm considering what meat to put into it. I'm not quite sure what to add. It might be ground turkey because we have so much of it, but we will get started. So let's start by going ahead and cutting up all these veggies. Finished cutting all these veggies up, looking good over here. I'm gonna start off, I decided in true keto fashion to use bacon bits as a base for this. So I'm just gonna stick all the bacon bits, well, some of them, I'm not wanting to go too crazy on the bacon bits, into the pan, let them saute and cook up a little bit, and then we will see how that's looking afterwards. I will probably add some, let's say, some chopped garlic. I go real easy with the chopped garlic as far as like the prepping, because I'm not a huge fan of cutting it up myself, so just get this one. So we will put some of that in there, let it saute, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so we're just gonna stick some bacon bits in. I'm eyeballing this, but it looks like about 1/4 of a cup of bacon. I like to pre-chop my bacon up so that way it's just ready to use when I want it. And I can, if you didn't know, you can just chop it up and freeze it in a Ziploc and then pop it in the microwave, defrost it for a few minutes. Well, I did this for about maybe 40 seconds, and it defrosted a good bit of it, enough to go ahead and, you know, pop it in the pan and cook it up. And now we're just gonna go ahead and let this cook up. I'm not gonna add the chopped garlic quite yet, because chopped garlic actually can burn and give a really bad flavor, and it cooks a lot slower, or I should say it cooks a lot faster than the bacon. And that is my timer going off. Let's see if I can turn that off. For the delicious banana bread, which I have made in a different video. If you would like to see that video, I will link it probably right here. And that way you can see how I made this and maybe get the recipe. But it's looking really good. I think it might be done. I'm gonna take it out and test it. Alright, so this bacon's starting to sizzle and cook up. It is gonna make some nice oil that will help grease that pan so that all of our other vegetables don't stick. I'm just gonna probably stick these in after that bacon's crisped up a little bit, and after I add in about it's probably going to be closer to a tablespoon of this minced garlic, just because I really like garlic. So we're going to put in all of these veggies, let them saute and simmer. Alright, it's time to add some garlic in. Let's do it. Now this bacon will continue to cook more. I really like to cook my vegetables, at least alright, that's looking pretty good. I like to cook at least the onions and the squash, the yellow squash, to death, basically. So, and then I add the cabbage, and I don't cook it to death. I just saute it till it's a little crispy and soft, but yeah.
If you ever feel alone, 'cause yeah, sometimes we'll feel alone. In a second, I'll be right there. Turn around, let it rain. Turn around and let it rain on me.
Alright, so this is what we have, everyone. As you can see, it is very cooked down. And when I said I cooked it to death, I really did. And now we are going to add all of this cabbage. I totally forgot the name of the vegetable. I don't know how the stirring's gonna go with this. Alright, we're gonna try to stir. Let's see. Let's see if we can do it. You can do it! Oh, I forgot to say, by the way, I added in some salt. And I didn't have any pepper, shockingly. So, could not add that in. Added in more of the garlic. And I also added in a little bit of this. Woo, that was hot. Okay. I added in a little of this toasted sesame oil into the pan. Probably about maybe 2 teaspoons into it. And I also added in this delightful olive oil. It is 3 blood orange olive oil, just to give it a little pizzazz. It's from this place that we have in our city that I don't think they have a chain, so but you can see it's the Crescent olive. It's delightful. It was kind of pricey though, so just a heads up. Now we're just gonna give it all a stir to the best of our ability. Don't worry if your cabbage is in big chunks like that. As you're cooking it, you can stab it with your utensil and it will start breaking apart.
Now it's all looking so good and sauteed. I'm gonna start adding in my onions and my squash, and we're just gonna let it cook to death. If you let it cook long enough, it will caramelize kind of like onions and really cook down into almost nothing. They're kind of akin to spinach in that if you let it cook long enough, it'll really shrink down into almost nothing.
You had me at hello.
I'm actually meal prepping here, so what I'm going to do is actually take all of this meal and I'm going to stick it into little containers. If you didn't know, this meal can freeze pretty well, so I will also stick some into some Ziploc baggies and that will get stuck in my freezer for later on, because I probably won't want this for like 7 meals this week or whatever. So I'm going to just get a few containers of it set aside for later on this week in the fridge, and the rest of it I'm going to go ahead and just stick in my freezer. I have a bin, which I will show you in a second, of all these keto low carb freezer meals that I have done in the past, and I like to just grab a bag and pop it in my bag to go to lunch, and that way I know I have something healthy and low carb at work. I haven't been doing as good with staying low carb, so that just is going to help me out with starting off this new year a little bit healthier and continuing on my journey of trying to become healthier and losing a little bit of weight just so that I can function better as a human being, and yeah, just to be healthier. So this is looking good. Ta-da! Beautiful. Look at that shot. Wow. So anyway, I'm gonna get this all containered up. Alright, as promised, these are my keto work meals. It's got some gaps in it, but I just, whenever I make a keto meal, I make a lot of it and then I freeze a lot of it. So we got like chicken, cauli, mac and cheese, and that's the same thing. And like soybean spaghetti. I know soybeans can be controversial, but they're fine. Meatball, cheesy rice, all kinds of things like that are some delicious meals, and like a little stir fry. I try to label everything, keep it all in check, and this whole basket just fits in my freezer. I have one of those freezers that's like a kind of narrow, so that was one of my remedies to be able to, it goes all on this shelf, to be able to stick it all on that shelf. I'm gonna stick this back in so nothing thaws out. Ooh, if I can juggle the camera and this. Ooh. Alright, so this all fits. Oh, so heavy. Anyway. Alright, ta-da! It's beautiful. Alright, so you can see it all fits right there on my shelf, and anytime I need a quick work meal, I just pull this out, grab a bag or two, and I'm good to go. So that's how I do my keto-friendly, low-carb meals. But I'm gonna go ahead and plate all this up and make sure that it's ready to go for this next week.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go?
Now I'm just going to take a bunch of these. I have these sweet peppers here, and I'm gonna meal prep those into these bags here. And that way I can grab a bag and have some fresh veggies to eat. I might put a little side of ranch or something, or blue cheese with it, but I like them just plain too. So I'm going to do that. So that was super fast. As you can see here, this is our meals for the week. We got several of these stir fries, and these I'm just gonna stick in the fridge. And then we got all of these fresh veggies. We'll just grab these bags and be ready to go. I'm gonna pack probably one of the cabbage stir fries and one of the veggies per day. And if I have a long day at work, I might pack two, but we will see.